They announced that they were going to headline with Green Day next year's When We're What, which is happening this weekend. And so that was a big announcement as well. So they're going to be doing that. I sold my tickets.
I wanted to talk about that too. Look up that lineup real fast.
Yeah, next year. Okay, this year?
Hold on. So this year's lineup is dope as fuck.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty dope.
Next year's is way better.
Nah, I don't know. Dude, I don't know. They got rid of all the heavy bands next year.
No, dude.
Thrice, and they got fucking they got a good one next year.
Dude, I mean, I don't want to
sound rude. I don't want to sound rude, but Thrice only has one good song, and that's all. Don't fucking. The Artist in the Ambulance. I listened to that song today. That's
you are about to get Omni turned. You're about to get Omni turned. I'm about to come out there and latte your face up. I'm gonna go out there. Oh, look! I'm gonna put one of these boots right up your ass, sir.
Thrice is like Radiohead and Coldplay. Fucking overrated and useless.
Dude,
damn! Someone's about to be
so not good.
I don't know if you've ever felt a nightstick up your ass, sir, but I will be the first one to introduce you to it. If you
someone is about to Tom DeLonge this fucking podcast and come back in 10 years.
Right now.
But dude, so when it comes to this When We're Young Fest, like everyone was freaking out about the one that's happening right now or some shit.
How are you going to fit all that into one day and all that other
shit? Well, yeah, that and like even when next year's lineup
they still haven't announced an additional day for next year.
Okay, let's look at this lineup.
We have Green Day, Blink-182, 30 Seconds from Mars, Offspring, Good Charlotte, All Time Low, Something Corporate, Thrice, Rise Against,
the top.
Pierce the Veil, Gym Class Heroes, Yellow Card, Saves the Day. Yeah, it's kind of weak.
Okay, I want to say this though.
Yellow Card.
You do get like the pop
Gym Class Heroes.
You get Bowling for Soup. You get the Ataris, Plain White Tea, Citizen, Knuckle Puck.
Knuckle Puck.
Fucking.
Anyway.
Newfound Zebrahead. Damn.
So the one thing I want to say, it is dope, but like they're enticing you, like it's magic. You know what I mean? Like it's like dangling all these names in front of your face. I went to ACL last week, and there was a day I only went for 2 bands.
Yep.
And it was exhausting. And I spent hundreds of dollars just watching 2 bands. You know what I mean? Like, so whenever I see a lineup like this, I'm like, how can you survive this shit and still miss most, like, you know what I mean, with this lineup and like 5 stages and everything going on
2
at
days.
Once,
yeah, it's 2
like
days.
You're gonna miss some shit.
Sir,
still.
This one they still only announced for 1 day.
Yeah,
they still haven't added the additional days yet.
Well, it's like the whole lineup in 1 day.
This one's 2 days. The one this weekend is
3.
2 days.
It's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and next Saturday again.
But everything you see on the flyer is in 1 day.
Yeah.
And then they repeat.
Fuck that.
They repeat the next day. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
And so I have a real quick point on this. Somebody brought up a fact, hey, is Gym Class Heroes going to break up again before this festival happens? And I wonder that about a lot of these bands, because a lot of these bands have been inactive for a while. Say Anything, Gym Class Heroes, Pierce the Veil. 30 Seconds to Mars. When was the last time Leto put out a song? Like, that's fucking.
Well, he's too busy colting it up right now. So.
Hey, bro.
New Boot Colton.
New Boot Colton.
Another thing that is weird about this too is like even this year's lineup, most of these people didn't know that they just announced all these bands, and there's like at least 5 different bands that were on the lineup that were like we weren't even actually confirmed for this lineup.
Yeah.
But once they saw it and once all their friends were hitting them up about it, they were like, "Oh, yeah, we should do that." And then it ended up happening. So like what the hell's going on with that? That's another side to this like huge festival idea and people just throwing a bunch of names out to entice you. And then it even ended up enticing some of the bands to come. You know what I mean?
So I had a little piece on this on I Hate the Scene. So what it is a lot of companies found it real. Well, this is my theory. I can't say that this is fact, but a lot of festivals and shows were getting announced and tours were getting announced, and then like 2 months later they're getting canceled during COVID, right? It was real easy for promoters to put on shows and to announce bands and to do only pre-sale. That was the whole thing during COVID, is you were going to do pre-sale only because it was like, hey, they're going to only last very, very shortly, right? And so what would happen is if something came about to where the tour can continue, they would just cash in on the insurance, pay the bands out, and then have money left over to like whatever refund the artists. And there's a couple instances where we heard about that through artists themselves. Kentucky Irate Fest was one of them that got canceled last second, right? That was recently too, but there was several.
That was a big deal.
That was a huge deal. It screwed over a lot of bands.
Yes, dude, and that was just the most recent one, but there were several during late 2020 and early 2021, right? And so my theory, we got tickets. First they were sold out, so we got Sunday tickets when they announced Sunday, so we got those. Then they announced that they were going to do a third day, and originally announced it for Monday, which for me caught a red flag immediately. And I from the get-go didn't think it was structured properly. I didn't think that, people were going online and going, hey, if you gave every band, they originally only announced 3 stages. So they were like, hey, if you gave every band 30 minutes, 3 stages, no setup breakdown time, that still doesn't make sense. Like, you're not going to have enough time to even see a handful of bands, Yeah. And so there's just a bunch of, I think, controversy around it initially, but you also had acts on there that have ridiculous diehard fan bases, and we saw that with just My Chemical Romance alone.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that with bands like Thursday. You're seeing that with other bands that are playing this weekend that are Atreyu. They've done tours maybe over the last year or since COVID has happened, and they've had success. So it makes sense that there was probably enough steam to keep this, or enough momentum to keep this boat afloat, if you will, right?
Yeah.
I think that it was originally a shot in the dark that this was going to go off and work.
Yeah.
But you do have enough fandom within these bands where, a festival like this weekend's going to be the test. If this weekend doesn't go well and it's a shit show, I mean, remember when Blue Ridge Rock Fest had that real first rocky weekend and people were like, yo, this is the next festival to get canceled. It sucks. Everybody hates it. But then the artists came out and they were like, actually, it was pretty smooth. The following weekend went really, really well. And it ended up doing great the following year, right? And so this is going to be the test. This weekend, it's going to happen. Hopefully, everybody has a good time. I had somebody who had VIP tickets for one day reach out and buy my tickets from me. Wow. And so people are buying multiple days for this just for the sake of being able to see
I have a buddy going up there for every day.
Yes, dude, and that's $200 a day. That's $200 a day per ticket.
But they offered a deal, which was actually pretty cool, and they were one of the first festivals to do it. And I noticed that Furnace Fest has kind of followed suit as well, where you can pay it off.
Yes.
Like a credit card. And I think that's actually pretty fucking cool. I think that's pretty tight, honestly.
But I think I saw something where they were actually researching the address for that. You're talking about the Kentucky one, right? Yeah.
Yes.
The Kentucky one, it was just a field.
Yeah, and it was like a field next to a gas station, and it was like, what? Yeah. What is even going to happen? And then everybody just started dropping. Yeah. Like Hardcore Akeem, the Browning, and you know what I mean? I think those were like the first to go because he was hosting Hardcore Akeem. And then after the host and then the band he was playing in drop off, it's like slowly.
And then Left to Suffer dipped.
Yeah.
Everybody, Oceano dipped. Like a bunch of people were fucking dipping out. Yeah.
Same thing with Firefest, right? As soon as Blink dropped, Blink was on that bill. Blink 182 dropped off Firefest.
Yeah.
They were one of the first ones that were like, yo, we're not playing.
Right.
It's coming up next weekend or 2 weeks from now, and we're not playing.
What about Ja Rule, though?
Fuck.
Homeboy just got out of prison. He's trying to do another festival.
You.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
really?
What would I do without you?
Benazzi.
And I know, baby.
But yeah. Maybe he could get back in that Fast and the Furious franchise.
Dude, stop. So that needs to end too. That needs to come to a real quick stop.
I mean, Paul Walker's not there anymore.
So.
Oh, shit.
All right. What is our next topic? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Does anybody want another beer?
I would love another beer, but let's get back on the screen so we can look at the comments. We haven't looked at the comments for a second. I know that there was a couple that we kind of... Illegal Art said a couple more things. The Ring won't scare the kids anymore because no one knows what a VHS is.
Factual.
Yeah,
that is true.
On that. He also said,
really true.
I've been in a real Amityville house. Oh, in the real Amityville house, it's gigantic. Thanks. Damn. That's what she said.
Okay.
And
you said you wanted a beer. I'm gonna.
Yes, I will have another beer. If you could grab me a Training Bites, please. Training Bites? Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's celebrate third place.
Shout out Serafino, if he's watching out there in this world. He's one of the brewers that I work with. He's a fine young man. Shout out Decon too. Decon, Daniel Connolly, our buddy. Well, last time we did a podcast, he was like in the chat, and he
the whole time.
Yeah, and he kept being like asking all these questions and saying stuff, and we did acknowledge him. Whenever he was...
Dude, he was blowing me up.
But then he started blowing us up, and he was like, what the fuck? Why are you guys not paying attention to me? And when I saw him, whenever I was at... What's up?
I need your ID.
My what?
Your ID.
Why? Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out
He's
of
a
here,
cop, dude.
He's a cop. I just get it.
Jesus.
No, dude.
Fucking dummy.
You know, you want to see? I don't even have my wallet, and I'm in a Halloween costume. Shit.
Who are you even?
But
I'm not actually filthy.
but yo, when I saw Daniel at my work, he was like, "Hey man, what the hell, dude? Why weren't you guys like talking to me in the chat?" And I was like, "Yeah, I acknowledged you and I answered your question." And he's like, "I had a lot to say." And I was like,
Okay.
well, I was like, "Well, you know, it's a show, man." And he's like, "I thought I was gonna be the guy that got to call in and like be on the show."
Oh, really? That's so good.
Our
Expectations.
Yeah, I've known this guy for
Fucking
like 15
Decon.
years. Yeah, so
Dude,
I thought-
Decon's the man.
yeah, can't be.
I've got stories for days about that
yeah,
fucking guy.
Decon, if you're out there, don't chase waterfalls, bro. For real.
It's really true. Creep.
But yeah, we're done talking about that subject.